Hello, snipers. Yes, what a weekend it was. What a weekend it was. You're looking at Bitcoin. You're going to be looking at Ethereum with me. You're going to look at Hex. You're going to have a look at Maker. Did you make some money on the Maker? That's terrible. It's terrible. I know. I'm wearing a Dr. Seuss hat. You can forgive me. Come and get it. Come and get it. Dr. Seuss is our man. Glad to be back with you. So looking at the comments, looking at a lot of what's going on. By the way, as I say, to stream, to do all of this, we appreciate a little bit of support for the algorithm. That says 100 likes. We ask you to puppy lick and get us moving, get us going so that we get some recognition, get the growth the channel deserves. This is a YouTube channel that's been channeling for goddamn years, and I've seen other shooting stars spike past and crash when they scam you. They do micro caps that they're pumping and dumping on you, some with similar accents to me. And there's all sorts of skullduggery, some that were doing OTC deals. We keep it straight, we keep it honest, we want your best interests at heart. The only way we monetize is if you elect to join our community. It's totally optional, and we ask for all those that get free information. And if you don't think it's good enough value, we'll just block you and you can go to that channel where it is value. Why hang out in a place where you aren't getting value? How about you give me some value instead of retrospective calls? Listen, I'm bored. Piss off. Okay, to the people that are giving us licks, that support us strongly, for telling you the best that we can, recognizing that we can also be wrong. We say truly thank you. And we hope that some of you have taken defense. Listen, we don't want to gloat and celebrate other people's pain. I'd much rather be right about a mega moon bull market that everybody's love and light and making money. But there's a season for harvesting, and there's a season for plowing and sowing and letting nature take its course. This is a nature's culling event, and it is taking out of the market fluffiness, bad projects, ne'er-do-wells, Celsius out of Tel Aviv with all the little Sabbatean Frankists doing dirty deeds, dirt cheap, yep, and running away with your money. That's the problem. The tide goes out, you clear out all the dry brush, and only the trees remain. And those trees often have burnt and shriveled bark and carry a few scars into the future, but they remain. The rest is bramble. Bramble must be burnt, and that's what we're seeing. There's quite a bit of bramble that's being burnt, and that's why we haven't been micro-cap stars. We haven't been telling you about 10 million cap tokens, 1 million cap tokens, even 50 million caps. We've broadly kept it into the larger 25, and we still haven't been perfect. We've still got things wrong, but not out of wanting to see any harm to you, not out of wanting to make you a bag holder. And there are so many places that are being exposed for being bag holders. Anyway, morality over what's happening in Bitcoin, what's happening in crypto over. It's a leftover crypto over. Well, eventually, guys, these things will become a buy again. You know, we're not a perma bear ranting into the great wilderness all the time. It was just not right. We have said that you would get a first cup gold nugget visit. We'll have a bit of humor as well with your favorite topping signals coming. I'll give you some ideas. You can write in the comments, what are your favorite signs of a top that happened over the course of the last few months? And ignorance of macro, also a big thing. Yep, we will talk about those. Write them in your comments, your favorite topping indicator. If you are burnt and hurt, I am sorry to hear it. I am really sorry to hear it. I do not revel and take delight at your pain in any way. I do not. Let's have a look at crypto market cap. 12.3% down. Bitcoin, 15.5% Ethereum. What's up? Defense, stable coins, USDC, USDT. Of course, they're only fractals up. They're just not down. Defense has been the theme that we've been pushing for a long time. And defense is not losing. Sometimes winning championships is the team with the best defense. Attacks wins games and scores goals. Defense wins championships. To win in this game, you have to be a long-term winner. You have to not be a shoot the moon and shoot the lights out, a super aggressive, full hopium bull market hero. You have to be a long-term winner. And what we're seeing here is carnage. 16% Solano, sub $30. Polkadot 12%, Tron down 17.6. You're seeing just today, don't forget that came on top of a major weekend. Here's your Celsius friends. Oh, we're not doing withdrawals anymore, but you can still deposit. How much would you guys like? Can I sell you millions? Millions. You seem like nice guys. Oh dear. And people are getting hurt here. I don't laugh at them. It's true pain. This was always a bear flag. So what did we say to you? Bitcoin, what has been happening? What has been happening? Once you realize there's a bear market, you've got to stay with it. They always last longer than you think. This was your support zone that was in existence, and you came in and you had falling wedge when you smashed these levels, roughly from the 30K to run about the 40K. That was your buy accumulate zone. In the bull market, it came down. We kept you long. You've done this recap many times. I won't continue. Down into this now turn support. Big seam. But don't forget, this time you've made a marginally higher high, failed to press on, yet you've come all the way back down again. Concern. What structure? Bear flag, I apologize, bear flag, and then you're leaning and you're just splitting the 40K and 42K mark. What happens? You normally break a major seam of historical support in terms of, and by the way, this could have been Michael Saylor buying, I think he's aggregated in at 32. I don't know, might be wrong, might be a little bit lower, might be a tiny bit higher. But big institutional buyers that this is a buy always, yeah, they create the seam of support. Then when you break it with momentum to the downside. What did we say to you will happen after that? You will rally back into it for a period. I actually thought you could have rallied for longer. This was a very short bear flag. And then you will do it will serve as resistance and you will spill down. That's exactly what's happened. And the levels we said last time, we're pretty sure will fall at minimum, will be the first cup gold nugget, the last bull call. Yes, we've done bull calls. And we said the biggest and best bull calls. We even said we are going heavily, irresponsibly long. The one time we were prepared to get leveraged and irresponsibly long way back here in the 8 to 10K zone. First cup gold nugget. Run. That target, that purple line has been run. With it, the 25K. See the key levels of significance. So you were holding 40 and 42 as key levels. You spilt flag at the 30, the top end of our accumulate zone, that's now resistance. Then you spilt to the bottom end that you've now broken and just trying to hold. And now you spill to the next logical round number, the 25. And that's where you find yourself. You will probably get some relief here, but I'm not sure I dare call that a bottom, my friends. So we keep on keeping on while we are accurate until we get it wrong. That's called continuation trading. So we will not be the first to call a bottom. Unlikely, but we could well be in the first 5%, maybe 10%, but we will not be the first to call a bottom. In fact, you've had bottom callers all the way through this bear flag, and they've been all the way wrong. So the key thing is you've got to learn to pivot. The hardest thing for me was to let go of a view and to come back with another one. It's kind of, you have to learn to be almost like those dirty dog politicians. If you don't like my policies, for a few dollars more, I'll come back with a whole bunch of new ones. When you are getting feedback from the market that you are being inaccurate, you should give up. Lots of higher profile people, bigger channels, bigger media, keep sticking to their narrative and keep getting belted and pelted in what is a really serious bull market, bear market period. And bull market to be in dollar, yes, we all hate it. Fine, and soon to be very much strongly in gold. It's already been serving the Japanese very well. It will continue to serve the Europeans very well. It will be doing so against the dollar soon again. Big long on gold. Does that make me Peter Schiff? No, it doesn't make me Peter Schiff. Is he going to be gloating just now? He probably will be. Were the maxis gloating a while ago when the alts were off and Bitcoin was holding? Yes. How good are they feeling now? Maybe a little bit less good because the alts were selling while they were holding that flag, but now they've fallen too. So a route is a route and it hits across all the trees. We did say Bitcoin dominance. Let's go to this chart. We told you this is one of the most important charts you look at. Not many people spend too much time doing chart analysis on Bitcoin dominance. We said to you, and we told you last video, so I'll do this real short. This is a bear signal, because on balance of probabilities, it is not Bitcoin pumping and the others just going up slightly. It's a bear market. It is a real sell-off. And we saw the macro. No one else seemed to have problems with the macro. And we came to you 10 minutes before the CPI, after all our community was properly set for what we expected. 10 minutes before, we came and said the CPI will overshoot. You're going to have a scary inflation number on our best guess. And your sentiment is going to highlight that the people have never had it so good. No, they're having a horrible time. That's what we warned. Sentiment down and unders. Inflation mega overshoot. Mega. That's 1% a month, guys, that they came up with. And that, my friends, is the name of the game. And that has caused a rolling effect. Now people are starting to talk. Could 75 basis points even become the new 50 basis points? Yes, the interest rate rises. By the way, just so that we're clear on this, at 1%, you're effectively going on an annualized basis at 12%. You've had one interest rate of 0.25 and one of 0.5. You have not tallied yet one full interest rate point of hikes, 100 basis points. You've done 75 basis points. And you are sitting somewhere around a percent and a quarter, and the inflation number is at 12. So let's be clear. Last time you were having inflation around these levels, Volcker had you deep in the teens, reaching for 21%. Germany, the last time they had inflation of this level, they were at 11 and 14% interest rates. What's the Eurozone at? They're thinking about a quarter point next month. It'll be the first move they've made. This is their game. You will have hyperstagflation. It's an extremely stubborn inflation with immense loss of buying power. People will start changing their consumer habits. And when they do that, they will start forward buying and stockpiling on the basis of it's going to cost more later. And everyone says the cure for high prices is higher prices. Actually, no. If I think they're going to be even higher, I buy more today. That's what happens. The pivot in people's change in behavior. They become hoarders and stockpiles. And that's what drives it on an escalating cycle. This is what the people on some of the media channels that we appear on seem to get wrong. Normal market conditions, high prices cures it. But not when you have the defragging, deglobalizing, major turmoil that we have. You end up getting the sardines doing something you don't want them to do. They panic. Let's have a look. Maker has been a godsend as not riding the elevator down. So Butters has done well. Somebody doesn't like the EU. Took a cycle to learn. Yes, you've seen it. What is going on with Michael Saylor? Wouldn't you like to be in the boardroom of MicroStrategy right now? I would wear this hat and I'd still look like the smartest guy in the room. You know that. But we're all heroes. We're always heroes in retrospect. In truth, I feel a bit sorry for him. Like I say, we're not the tap dancing on Graves Parade. If he had HVF method, if he understood technical analysis like this channel does, he would have got out. He would have been part of thinning down. He would have taken insurance or hedged, done something that he's not getting killed. And we would have warned that this was happening. This Bitcoin dominance chart is not good news for Bitcoin or the alts chart. And that was the breakout. And you got the first video of that roundabout here when we were warning that it's coming. And now you are heading for a possible 50% and more. So what other tokens have we got? Well, we've shown you Litecoin. I wanted to show you Litecoin, which was the old Bitcoin copy, but let's show you a little bit of the others. Maker, where's all my drawers gone? It's gone. It's down at 766. Up top here at 2,500. You could have been in and stayed in. You could have executed that. We've given this one away for free after community had it for an extended period. We've regularly checked in with it. It's largely gone down, down, and down. Of course, you had a little bit of, it's never easy trading, by the way. Even when you have the right bias, you've got to have real confidence. That was a lengthy period of gestate. Your stop up there, your shorts down there. You could have got in early on the 2.5 level at that shooting star somewhere. and then you would have been in. Lots of continuation patterns. Real skittish wick over there. Down you go. There is real social proof. Have a look at our link to some of our results. We've just started putting a small sample of results. It's got nothing of the recent history, by the way. We'll still have to be adding those. Their results are stacking up faster than before. But there has been real money made. Just in this weekend, we have had, oh, there comes my jaws. Check a trading view out. What are you guys doing? You're loading so slow. Must be our upload speed over here. If you do get a little bit of a stop-start, don't worry, we aren't gone away. This is it. And we're still looking for 305. If that is the case, what can you say about Bitcoin at 23, 24 level? Overall, I think it's going to go lower. It's going to go lower. This is what you all come to hear. What's the man say about what comes next? Bitcoin to go lower. Maker is at 761. But Bitcoin has just run the first cup gold nugget, which was the target of 25,000 whatever. That was the 2.5 year macro chart HVF draw that we gave and said it's going to be a big pump with overperformance. It's the first in the new trend. Did you overperform on 25.7? At some point you traded 69, and even in the same leg you traded 64. That's pretty good at overperformance. Since then, it's actually been a round tripper, and we've all been kept seduced, kept in it. People have realized at different time frames, and the earlier you realize, the better it is for you, because you get to make back some of what you lost from the high water marks on the down leg. The people that are holding on, they're round tripping. They are round tripping. This was the original setup to the bull side of this particular chart. Let's get it over here, Maker. And by the way, there's some additional dangerous news on this one. This is not log scale. This was the first HVF bull all the way there. That was your warning that it's falling out of its trumpet. Go learn how we do this with our theory and watch us implement it in live trading markets with HVF method. Hit the link, themarketsniper.com. The comments with my face are all fraudulent, brought on that YouTube won't stop. The only way you engage is hitting the link, going to themarketsniper.com, go have a look at the results link, go book a call. Do not engage any other way. We do not run Telegram, Discord, WhatsApps, or any other groups. Everything below is a scammer. Don't be seduced, and you'll only have your money stolen. He's not got something clever for you. So beware. Logarithmically, that's how it looks. You can see a little bit more about that apex. It is a complete round trip, and we think you come all the way down to that original Fulcrum origin HVF that was part of the bull market of December 21. Yep, and down to 305, and you will run it. That could have further repercussions where you might even have a 0 Celsius stroke lunar story. On the basis of this, let me just show you something that is of a concern for me. Where are we here? This is not my bag. I am not a specialist at this. I watch the money on the charts and see what that tells me about what things are doing. Macro, technical, medium time frame technical, and short time frame technical. However, if ETH falls to around 1150, nearly 5 million of on-chain collateral will face liquidation. Did I do the research on that? Can I vouch for it? No. These guys seem a pretty serious outfit though. They may be worth having a look into. You can form your own opinions. I am just passing this on without a verification or a stamp of approval, but it's worth noticing. App.parsec.finance. Go and have a look. 1150. We actually traded sub 1200 on ETH already. We are likely to have a rest because Bitcoin ran its 25-24 handle, traded 23. Maybe another bear flag, maybe a rising wedge, maybe something different. But I assess more downside because I anticipate success on Maker. I anticipated going through 300s to the upper 200s. But if that happened, that could be 0. It could be $1. It could be, microcents, a Satoshi. I'm not here bearing somebody's project and destroying it. I'm just pointing out other people are saying fundamental stuff. I'm technical, and you should watch that. Maker could be in real trouble. Deep trouble. Looking at your comments, I knew you would turn up when everything is burning down. Yeah, we kind of turn up, bud, fairly regularly, to be honest. We're going to take a bow if we think one's due. We're not happy to see people die. By the way, other people have done really well. You could be making 6 digits, $250,000 odd plus on various positions. You don't have to suffer. You can be on the other side of the trade and there's no bid. The market falls real nicely. Get shorting right and the market falls real nicely for you. It becomes the easiest. After the skittish little struggle, it's like you're holding her down, you serial rapists. First she struggles, then she relents. That's the shorting market. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. The analogies just get worse and worse. Deep down she wants you. And that's the short market right there. Elrond. I think I've got it right. Elrond. I'm so dyslexic with this. They do this deliberately to me. I can't do it. I can't do it. There we go. As opposed to Algorand. Elrond, we're still looking for 27. So Bitcoin pauses, you get a little bit of a rest, and down you go. Guys, you're talking about lots of money left on the table. 561.88 as a high. 561 to $27. My goodness, and there's a possibility of some overperformance in that. That is really killer. But I'm not saying you would have been short from there. That's its absolute high. I'm just saying this is a huge spill from absolute high. You're talking about a 95% loss. You could have been short from 156, 145, you name it, you got it. You're going all the way down to 27. That's huge. You're making 85, 95% decimation. You short 500,000, you short 100,000, you come out with 450 or 80,000, whatever you do. This is a spiller. It's a thriller. It's all the way from Manila. It came on Malaysian airline, the one that didn't go submarining, and it's bringing you flash, crash, and a smash on a weekend. The wet weekender bear market, your winter wet dream weekender with the bears. That's what you got. And if you're a bear, you made money. And if you're not, you hate the bears. And listen, if you want to hate me, you can. We have warned you. We did tell you. And that's why if you don't think there's any value on the channel, don't come. Don't come. Don't puke in the comments, little teeny boppers and skateboarder kiddies. Put your skateboard down. Hex, we've said we still feel we'll trade. Sub a cent. Spiller, thriller, all the way from Manila. Next funnel. Down here. 1.1. So, an offer. And this is not because Hex is going down. I am happy to sell at 2.5 times my sacrifice on Pulse Chain and Pulse X if you want it. And does that mean, no, I think Richard's scamming everybody? No, I don't. I think that project will come out. The bear market actually will end. He may choose to only release it later. I don't know what his plans or intentions. I think he's honorable as far as I can tell and know. And I expect a good project to come out by the time he's done. And actually, I think when we revert bull and after stimulus comes back, it could do rather well. I'd just like to cash in my investment now and do something else with that money. You're interested in Pulse X at 2.5 times? You're interested in Pulse at 2.5 times? Send us a mail. You know it, support@themarketsniper.com. And I'll probably buy back in the bull market. So that's a note. Crow. What was the peak bull sentiment of Crow? Many people, if you were the signals for peak bull. How about Crow sponsoring everything in the goddamn world? UFC, Formula One, buying stadiums, SBF buying stadiums, FTX this, FTX Formula One, Crow this, FTX that. Oh my God, it's crypto everywhere. There's no other corporations that have money to sponsor. Where'd all that money come from? Where'd it come from, eh? Selling your tokens and pumping them up, making gazillions, and then there's no bid. There's no bid. Down, down, down she goes. I want a credit card. I'm waiting. I'm still in fiat, waiting to get back in for my 8 or 10% and my free Netflix. No, I don't want the free Netflix. I like the Spotify though, and the travel. HVF's all the way, guys. HVF's all the way. All the way. HVF's all the way. Inverted structures. There she goes. That target was made. Join me now and draw it. That's Crow's actually ahead of the game in terms of it. That was the very first in a trend. Blow off top, slap in the face, ascending first, inverted in a new trend, exactly like it's happened in the bond market Lots of people still telling people to buy the bond market. Oh dear, buy the bond market after a first inverted HVF in a new trend. If only they knew what that meant. Target made, churn around for a bit, broadening structure, down you go, new inverted HVF, target over here, 19 cents all the way from 50 cents. You were at 50 up top there. You could have shorted from 40. Absolute spiller thriller, new wind up, smaller time frame, overperformance, new target made. This is pukety pukety puke all the way down each of the stairs. You know when you had that bender with your mate, with the Thai girls that turned out not to be girls? Yep, that one. And you then got, you commiserated by having a few too many tequila. You went down those stairs, bouncy pounds, pukety puke, each level, bouncing on every key level of significance on the way down, and you woke up with a triple hangover the next day and a blue eye, and you never got to get your end away. That was it, those teenage days. That's what Crow makes me think of. A real triple hangover, boy. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And I know people have lost. I'm not laughing at you. I know people have lost. I'm not laughing at you. It is just, you got to have some gallows humor though. You got to shake your head and say, man, did we warn folks? Man, did we warn folks? Thezos. Let's show you Thezos. So that was a nice bear flag. It's broken. It's actually held up a tiny bit better than some of the others, but we still see well sub the dollar, 1057. It traded $9 at its high. And it would have also had nice bull structure all the way up. That was the falling wedge of Bitcoin back into that accumulate zone, up to $9 for Thezos. Great job. Down, 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 down. Broadening structure broken, bagel broken, inverted HVF, down she goes. Some of these have been our community finds, members in our community. Thank you to my lovely, amazing community. And ones that I've found and shared with them. We are all working together to spot inverted HVFs. We're practicing. Many of the guys didn't take shorts. They're just not losing money. Is a major win when everyone else is losing money. Relatively, your wealth in the crypto space has gone up immensely. Some people have been 90% X. Some have 100% lost on Luna and Celsius. And maybe there'll be one or two others. Those collateral issues. Why do people collateralize on crypto? Why do they collateralize on crypto when their crypto token is going to be correlated in down legs to that collateral? I've never understood that. I've never understood that. I know fiat is unsexy. I know no one wants it. I know it looks stupid to have a huge amount of fiat or even, you know, gold as collateral would have done you better. It also goes down, but it's not as volatile as a crypto. Dollars, Jesus. Everyone collateralizes in some other token, and then you have a major bear market and they're all busted flushes. I don't know why they do it. Don't you see correlation? When you most need it, everything you bought into is now down 90%. 90%. Gold won't drop 90%. Gold won't drop 80%. You know, own some gold. Dollars in a bank won't drop 80%. It's going to take them a number of years of inflation. It'll take them a few years. Let's not get too aggressive. At 20% inflation, it'll come quite quick. But in terms of buying power, the dollars will still be goddamn there. I don't know. But everybody collateralizes in a different crypto. A bigger one, a bigger name. We are big buyers. Guess what? When that crashes and they have to sell that collateral, that's your pukety puke down every step. Bounce your head. That tequila that doesn't taste so good anymore. Hit the likes, 540 watching. Thank you very much. Only 170 likes, 274 now. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Headed to Pat Pong, Phuket. Let's go on a Banshee tour to Phuket on our Harley Davidsons and support the local economy. Yep. All my silly analogies coming home to roost on me as they deserve to do. So what else as tokens? Sol. Wow. So some people say they called the top of the market. 64 is not the top of the market if it trades 69K on Bitcoin. Okay. This was a top of the market call, HVF. Right there. Bang. It just made it. No overrun. That was your warning. 259.90 was the high. The close of that trade, 259.69. 69 cents to 90 cents. Even my bad mathematics tells me that's around 21 cents. 21 cents on 259. That was the top of the market. Never to be seen again for now. Doom, crashed the funnel. Falling wedge, little bit of a bump there. Down, crashed the legacy targets down here. Listen, there's more history here. This is a spiller sol. And I mean, in the bull market, we were there. We were saying we're going long sol. And now it's been down, down, down. Non-stop. Sol, sol, sol. Underperforming Binance, underperforming ADA, underperforming them all. And it ate a bit of Binance's dinner. Binance never made a higher high when Bitcoin 69. This had a huge structure that was showing real relative strength. We put you on this trade in this period. During Bitcoin's falling wedge to the 69, later 69 run for Bitcoin, this all happened. That was hyper hopium, and the VCs have all cashed out at various of us's expense at varying levels, rising reg after the funnel bounce. It's so obvious. It's always so much more obvious on the way down in retrospect. Broadening, falling wedge, you are going to get a little bit of a rise. Spiller, absolute thriller. Bounce on the funnel. Fancy that. Funnels are broken with momentum. You have not finished breaking this funnel. This is going to continue with momentum through at least that 22.13. It'll probably have a small bounce on the next funnel. Boom, pee-pee, little pee-pee, and then the little pee-pee gets chopped. Boom, revisit the other one. This is why Hex will probably do. We aren't over. At some point we bottom. At some point this will be wrong. At some point we bottom. Everything I'm saying is on balance of probabilities, but it is still relatively accurate for what we've been. This is a roundhouse chip. These people who got in pre-listing didn't pay $1, my friends. Like our friends in Crypto Banter. They were paying fractions of a cent and then pumping and then proven to be have sold onto their YouTube audience. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. These VCs would have got in real cheap. If it ever traded $1.04 on the market, you know they picked it up for a cent or two. This has been a major haymaker. Doesn't mean these projects will go away forever. It just means hypervaluations are unwinding. Hypervaluations are unwinding, not just in crypto, but crypto is liquid. It is high beta. It is all of those things, and those will fall first, hardest. But you will have further falls on the NASDAQ. You will have further falls on other asset categories. Hyperstagflation means you have super high inflation. Actually, we're at double digits, although it's not stated as yet. Britain's already at 9 and beyond. And the economy contracted in a single month. The month-by-month contraction is 0.3. So growth is down and the inflation is high. That's terrible because the cure for the inflation is the increase in rates, which absolutely kills the growth. So they are moving further and further. That demand curve, price over here, how much do you buy? Quantity is moving left, and that supply curve is also being moving in the opposite direction right. For a given price, people are taking less and less and less. This is a contraction. It's an economic contraction. And the debt markets are your big problem, guys. They are still your big problem. But take a look at this chart pawn. Take a look right here and tell me this isn't beautiful. Type 3 falling wedge, bouncing twice on our funnel levels before breaking with momentum to the downside. You will come out the other end. It is like a horse taking a big run up and it's got 2 or 3 jumps in the road to go. You don't stop halfway in between. When you're at 1,000,000 miles an hour, you got to run and jump, run and jump, run and jump. Look at your show jumping videos. Go and be a Ponzi nonce for a minute and watch that and enjoy. So what else are the questions? And any thoughts on BlackRock holding USDC? So USDC has Goldman Sachs, therefore it has BlackRock, it has all the cartel members are there. All the criminals will be there. That probably means it'll survive. That's all I can say. Will 50 basis points hike by Fed weaken dollar against G10? No, America is leading the tightening game. So here's what we think will happen. This will have bearing. This will have bearing on all aspects of current world environment. With that happening, if they tighten, if they continue to tighten, which they are likely to do, The dollar is being tightened faster. You will see rush of money into dollar. It will be a headwind for crypto because most of them are measured in dollars. It will be a headwind for crypto, a tailwind for the dollar, of course, and a headwind for the euro and the yen and these Asian crises. I see debt markets spilling, a super spike in the dollar. Listen to me again, and I will tell you what I see coming. Debt markets spilling, which will kill banks in due course. Your global hack will come because just in time to be blamed on the Russians because the banks were about to fail anyway. Kind of like that whole repo foobar in September, October that suddenly saw the events of March 2020 occur and you got that whole big release and the trillions got printed. They don't do it for you. They do it for themselves. They write the laws for themselves. They write the gateways, the little peepholes that they can creep out of and escape through for themselves in their own laws that they write and to capture you. The key and the clue is that it's not your system. It was written by others for others. You are abused. You are the patsy. You are the tiny child locked up in the basement that is serially raped by a psychopath. That is it, my friends. What a charming analogy here on a Monday as we storm into a new week with plenty of fiat profits at the pain of others. No, we're upset about the pain of others, but it happens. It happens. So, XRP, we also gave you XRP. Yep, that little tiny one here, we can have a look at it. We had it in our community. We're warning 26 cents coming up. It's running into a funnel. What happens at a funnel? It accelerates through. It either supports and bounces. If it's going half into it, it's going all the way through it. And it does it with momentum, fast. So that'll be a further spill. That'll take you below, in our opinion, the 29, and you have a target of 26.03. That's it. That's it. That's what we see. If it stops and pauses right here, it might get a bounce. It needs to bounce very quickly. Otherwise, it's going to be a faster through. It goes with momentum. Kind of graphics, says somebody. Yeah, the analogies got to have a bit of pain and feel to them. They've got to be pictures. They've got to paint a picture in your mind that gives you a cold shudder. You need to shock awake and feel the situation. So Ethereum, we've got to talk about ETH. That is a spiller. I drew it for the guys and shared it. Ethereum. What a break. And I'm afraid to say, you saw what we were referring to regarding that collateral. 150, the man said. He may be wrong. I don't know. He may be brilliant. I don't know. He seems to run a serious shop though. 150. You are right there. You traded that mofo right there. Oh my God. You're at 180. And what am I saying? Maker's got to lose another half again. XRP's got to get to 26 cents. This ain't over. This ain't over. That means Bitcoin is probably not at its bottom because it's going to drag these other guys down with him, lose another 20% over time, and the others will lose 30, 40, or 50 of wherever they are at right now. XRP, it did pee out the window a couple of times. No, it's not XRP. It's Ethereum. Sorry. Those gas prices. Punishment for gas prices. It's got nothing to do with it, of course. It's a contraction. It's a market contraction. But it's beautiful. Note how this is, where it's pausing right now is also beautifully in the middle of this little continuation there from that spill. Wow. But it is also great overperformance. This is just a great time to be a bear. Unfortunately for those that are suffering, I'm sorry. You didn't listen to the channel. You weren't in the premium community. You weren't hearing the message enough. You didn't believe enough in what we did. Or you did, but you just didn't think it was worth the money. You'd rather lose 20 or 30 grand in the markets than try prevent it ever happening again. This is not my first bear market in crypto. And we weren't on it from 69K either. We're never going to be on it on 69K. But the sooner you realize and the sooner you find setups, the sooner it pays you. And they spill beautifully. Like the drunken man stumbling down the steep steps with 10 tequilas in his system. His head will hit all the way. He will come to you. You just have to wait at the bottom of the stairs. So what other cryptos of note? I promised Elrond. I promised Hex. I promised Thezos. I promised a few. Algo's also fallen really hard. The one that confuses me. It's also in there. Audio, one that we looked at as a speculative, one of the very few smaller cap ones that we looked at, they've all fallen, and many of them had structures. The key thing is you get a whole lot of opportunity. That's why we were kind of confident in our overall view, because we didn't have one inverted structure. We had many across the entire category. That gives you confidence to be a bear. They aren't all bad, and some broke sooner than others. So that gives you confidence that the move is likely to be downside as well. When Bitcoin was holding, some of the weaker ones were already leaving. No blue pots right now. I wouldn't buy any blue pots right now. There are tokens that have shown relative strength, but are still horribly down and will probably go lower. But relative to the others, haven't been bad. Happy to tell you that BNB, Tron, and Monero are ones that have shown a reasonable amount of relative strength. Guess what? If banks go down and you haven't got cash, you might want that privacy coin a little bit. It could serve you quite well. Personally, I've always got a little bit of a soft spot for the Monero, but we don't know how much it's been penetrated by the dark artists following Fluffy Pony's interception. Who knows? Who knows? But still, it could be very, very good. So those are the one. And ADA, I think there's a real academic intent. There's some real volume going through what he's trying to build. I think he's going to still be around, and then there will be a new bull market. By the way, I still think Pulse and Pulse X could do rather well. But Ethereum sucks with its gas prices. A good old, similar to Ethereum chain could do exceedingly well. And I do think that the devs and everything that will be delivered will be to a reasonable standard. Hex never got hacked. So I have not got a criticism about anything that's being done technically in that space. And I think the intent is authentic. So, you know, it's all good. I think it will survive. But it is a bear market right now. And there's other things, interesting things that can be invested on. Stable coins, generally I'm not over focusing on stables. I think some of the newest, the algo staples, I hated the idea. Collateral is collateral. Non-collateral, you know, I don't get that. I just admit to not understanding it and staying away. I'm kind of like what Warren Buffett was with .com shares. I don't get how that just works out. You know, we've just created money out of nothing. That sounds like full Ponzi. That sounds like a fiat system that I'm escaping. So, no. Dink Doink is the coin of the future. Oh my God. Probably some punters. Let's talk about top signals, by the way. And you can also post, where is the bottom for Bitcoin in what you think? Let's give you some values on that, by the way, where we think, and remind you of ours. And you give us your take. Where do you think the bottom will be on Bitcoin? And by the way, the other thing that's become quite important, so squatting down a little bit here, is the NASDAQ, how it opens today. And it should be opening. If it starts really strongly down, it could be bearish. I'm seeing Microsoft down. Here we go, IXIC. Let's have a look at the traditional markets here for a bit. It's looking like a tough opening. You see that candle there? We've got head and shoulders. What do you think is going to be happening to crypto, guys? If this turns down and makes this target and then continues down for a whole bunch more. Hypervaluated. Let me just say, the NASDAQ stocks, the overall stock market weighting relative to GDP percentage is still higher than that at the .com boom. Again, after a 7 trillion created out of thin air money splurge, the hyperinflation that you saw, Tesla to the moon, and all the other surveillance finance, social media crowd, all to the moon, etc., etc. They, even after this correction, are bouncing on the roof of the hypervaluation percentage of market cap, the total value of the shares, to the country's GDP. And guess what you think that GDP is going to be doing? Ooh boy, it's going to eat those interest rate rises and puke hard. Puke pies, down, down, down. So as the shares go down, the GDP will also be going down. Those shares need to go down faster than the GDP to get anywhere close to realistic valuations. And that, my friends, is going to be a chase for liquidity. And that eventually is going to cause bank problems, debt problems. The debt market, oh my goodness, debt market. It is so over and the people are so calling it along. I shudder every time I hear buy bonds, wear diamonds, or words to that effect. I absolutely shudder. People think it's the 70s. People think we're going to bluff our way out of it. Of course they'll come with stimulus, but they're going to let it go further than before. They're going to let it go further than before. Where's Kathy? Kathy, our beacon of hope. ARK is at $40. Yep, so far actually, it's not gone manic bad, but cryptos is far worse. The Bitcoin, whoop, there's a surge you didn't want to see. So here I am showing you a traditional market key indicator. Look into my eyes, look into eyes, fantasize, ladyboy from Phuket. Hello, darling. Yes, that yield right there above the 3.2% is now shot to 3.265. And where was the buy diamonds brigade? They were all buy diamonds, buy bonds, wear diamonds. They were all getting excited down here, just at the bottom, just in time for a major surge on yield. Yield's going up, value's going down. Short the HYG, which is the junk bond. Last time they backstopped it. I hope they won't do it again. I'm a sucker. I'm back. Short debt. Debt is going to die. This is a key reversal, guys. And this is with momentum. Please understand that. Please understand that. That is assertive yield action. That is pain. Debt market crisis, collapsing. Money is borrowed into existence. To get a dollar lent to you at a bank, they borrow it into existence. They create it. And that is a T journal with an asset and a liability. You become their asset because you owe them something. They are your liability. You owe them a dollar. And you go consume with it. And you then pay tertiary extractive interest. You have to find dollars from other people to pay back that dollars and the interest on it in an ever expanding dollar-based system. That debt is now contracting. That means money is dying. Liquidity crunch. Plus, the Fed is going to do QT tightening. This is designed to kill the old mule, to introduce the central bank digital token, UBI, as all the peasants are poor. This is not like the 70s and we'll just bounce out of it and mumble through. This is a much bigger cycle ending. This is Rome and empire ending type ending. This is a bigger scale. People have not seen that the macro is here because it's a horrible message. It's so bearish. It's so mean. It provokes fear. No, I assume you have the balls to hear what I'm here to tell you. And that by taking action, you will automatically be better off. The best thing is gold, silver held in hand. No money in the banking system. The banking system is going to betray you. They will do it. I stand on an island where 47.5% was cut off everybody's bank balances above 100K. Thank you. You now have worthless shares in the bank. Good luck. You can go and sell them for a peanut each. Nice. By law, it's legal. You see, when government steals, it's legal. When you steal, you go to jail. That's the game. That's your Ponzi scheme in a nutshell. This is terrible. This is a new high. This is a melt up. This is debt markets. This is the debt markets. HYG, the junk markets. How are you doing this? Junk debt. Spiller. Thriller alert. Guys, this is not just about crypto. This stuff still has to properly get going. Think how far it will drag down anybody who has anything left in crypto. You are going to get a basement selling. You're going to get a bear market that you haven't seen. Never in the history of crypto from 2010 has crypto had to exist in such a macro bearish environment. You could make lows beyond your imagination on Bitcoin, the favored Bitcoin. MicroStrategy could belong to Tesla as a small arm after being bought by elongated muskiness when he gets some spirited in Rockefeller money for going to the moon and putting satellites to track you with your chips in your brain, your device, etc. That is all possible. You cannot read the headlines of a year's time. They will shock you. They will shock you. You do not have the imagination. Some of you do. I'm saying it to provoke, not to say you don't actually. Some of you do. I know that. So let's have a look at your comments. Junk is a falling through the 75 level. We're making money. We're making money. We're watching the firemen start fires and then not answer the phone when the people call for the firemen. They went and started them. They went and insured your homes, started a fire, and then sat in the fire track and cracked open a brewski and left that phone off the hook. And you're a phone in and you're a dial in. Come and get me, come and get me, come and put my firehouse. Down, down, down it goes. It's going to go further than you think. The game is to end it all. Dollar spike, debt collapse, major FX market moves. The FX markets are the new crypto markets. You're getting a huge standard deviations. People are not prepared for the scale of what is coming financially. And if you don't hold it, you don't own it. Never mind your keys, your crypto. Your gold is the gold you hold in your hand. Your silver will be the silver that you hold in your back garden where you do midnight gardening. That is going to be your wealth. Get self-reliant, my friends. We do a reset sniper on the Odyssey. It's going to be much bigger and much worse than you think. We heard it here first. We've been saying it. We haven't changed our tune in a long, long time. Odyssey. Go and search the market sniper. You will need LBC coins. If you're coming from elsewhere, mail us, and you can't get LBC, we will attempt to support you. End of the financial world system as it stands. Not the end of the world, don't worry. The ocean will still be there, the land will still be there. Your family members that haven't been scientific guinea pigs will probably still be there. And you know what? A cleansing of a toxic pile of muck. You have to see the joy in this. Dollar index up. Look at that move. Much like the yield. Shazam. Back up. No one believed it. We said dollar up. It's not a popular message. No one believed it. Right down here. This is the headwind that crypto must sail in. There's your inverted head and shoulders. We actually said it shouldn't run this low. We started to say it's getting at key levels. 89. W bottom. We call that. We traded it long. We are long dollars. We are long dollars, not because they're good, because they're going up. We are short crypto, not because they're bad, because they're going down. We haven't married anything. We have no belief systems about anything. We are dispassionate and we trade a method to build wealth and to preserve wealth in crazy times. We will buy the things that will stay and remain, that cannot be broken down as a result of a macro cycle of criminals that are bringing to end a system that has been overextended so that they can introduce a new electronic digitized everything system. You should hold cash notes. They are not invalid yet, but they will, but you'll get a window to convert it into their crappy central bank digital token. Crypto is served as an on-ramp for these people. They don't like Bitcoin because cause climate change. Cause climate change. But believe you me, they probably control it already and did from the very beginning. So do not get married to anything. There'll be a time to sell gold. There will be a time to pivot it into property. There'll be a time for lots of things. But you have to see this is much bigger than a crypto-based event. This is much bigger than a crypto-based event, and it will go on. These indices selling off will fall hard. Look at this USD JPY, for example, sitting at 133.99. People laughed at 105s, 106s, 107s when we said it's going to go to 136. In FX terms, that's absolutely obscene. It's a major move. It hasn't even yet begun. It's going further. So crypto is in trouble, friends. Debt is in trouble. A lot of things are in trouble, and they're going to turn the screw, and you have hyperinflation. And you have hyper asset inflation that came before the CPI rates. And all the time the Fed lied to you and said, we just can't seem to get any inflation. And they coined it the Goldilocks economy of Greenspan, the greatest Fed chair ever. He's led the greatest dumpster jail, steal a few $100,000, steal $5,000, steal $250,000. If you want to, that's when you go to jail. If you want to not go to jail, steal $1 trillion or $2 trillion. Organize a system where you create a systemic risk that you get to take a whole bunch of money on an epic scale and you dump it on everybody else and you impoverish the world, and we have UBI communism. That's what's happening. Oil's doing great, and oil's going to continue to drive inflation, guys. So this is why we're talking about oil on a crypto channel. Because if the oil stays high, the inflation stays high. Guess what? You suddenly can, the likes of Russia, for natural gas and oil out of the Western supply chain, and you start to have huge problems. What ends up is you have stubbornly high oil prices. Demand is collapsing, sentiment is collapsing. Oil, no problemo, sitting tough at 120. Let's show you that. And that, my friends, is your early warning indicator. The We start to be wrong, or this collapse starts to end when this collapses in price. And I think you can have a down leg somewhere to here, but the only time I would start to worry of our prosthesis is $97 you run below. That's on Brent. Most of you are American and from the Panamanian, South American and Canadian side, that whole time zone, you want to watch 93. I will even put an alert right there. If we run that level to the downside, then the inflation will finally start to ease. Till then, it's going to keep ticking up higher. Keep ticking up higher. They will not control it. In fact, we expect a large continuation pattern to come out of this. That's all our draws. This has been a secular key level of significance on the $100, guys. On the $100. Wow, this is huge. And it's on the $100. And you've been sitting here, and I tell you, it's my suspicion that in the longer run, we go higher. The longer run, we go higher. This war, which is a low tempo war, could get hotter. Other conflicts could occur. Transport, depreciating fiat, when there are now currencies that have backings. Yes, the ruble has a backing. The currencies that are not falling against the dollar, the ruble, the Chinese yuan, etc. So Euro Swiss franc will continue to go down. I'm not doing a full FX. This is still the crypto channel. We will do full FX. Go follow the Market Sniper. Go follow the channel. Gold down hard today. Contraction, magnificence, dollar strength, particularly part of that. Gold euro, is it as bad? Less so. And we expected a bit of a down pull. Gold euro in time, we see upside, we see new highs. In spite of what you're seeing right now, we are calling for a new high move in the gold euro. You can find out the details in our community. And we will be trading long, and that down leg is what we're waiting for, and we'll start to be accumulators between the 720 and the 745s range in euros, remember. So we'll also be trading against the euro as a currency, but I think the gold will still march higher. We're calling for gold to make new highs, coming not too far off, despite you seeing this selling off. So we're talking to you about trading to a level and key patterns. Thank you. Very kind. Some nice compliments. When money dies. Yeah, debt, guys. The debt system. The debt system is the money system. Your money is based on a system of debt. Any final calls and shout outs on cryptos? I don't want to do the really silly, crappy coins. We did this one. I mentioned audio. It was a short as well. Beautiful little structure there. See that squeeze and spill? It'll go a little further, I think. I haven't drawn the targets on it. The patterns are getting a little bit smaller. So eventually this will end and we will be ready and wanting to chase. Binance now made a new low to that low finally. Had a bit of a spill in the end. But it had really dangerous. Really dangerous for a lot of projects. What you have to realize is Bitcoin and Ethereum are two very important tokens. Bitcoin is collateral for a couple of the projects and what MicroStrategy has done. Ethereum for projects that are built on top of it, that have invested a lot in Ethereum to build on top of it, that for which that is their collateral. Now you're going to find a lot of the people are caught without their chunks by being a layer token, one of them, the most important one, which is why I still think Pulse and Pulse X will do pretty damn well. And as I say, closer to whenever it gets released, I might even buy in back post that. But you've got a real problem if ETH goes down in a different kind of way to Bitcoin. And I would ask the question about Maker. And those people that are worried, they're not going to wait till it hits their liquidation level. They're going to start being sellers now. In other words, they're going to help it happen. Because they're sitting with a lot of it and they go, damn, what are we going to do? This is getting critical. Well, we better get out now because it only gets worse later. And the rates are turning up. Everyone's telling us, everyone's getting scared. The stock market's selling off. You better get out. Normally, your first loss is your best loss, guys. Don't hang on. And a lot of people will start to realize it. So how low will BTC fall? Someone who came late has now asked the question. So again, those Bitcoin values at 23,400, it is going lower. It is going, you're watching this live with a crypto sniper. You've got me in a crazy t-shirt and a screen share. Thanks to an amazing Pearl system and my fellow technicians here, bringing you high quality content with a great capital investment. And we ask for 100 likes to start. That's all for making the effort, and we want to be as accurate as possible. You have a no ads channel and you're watching it happen live with me. 23,300. This is awful. It looks like it's got the momentum to make that next cluster of levels. So we gave you a number of cluster of levels. You didn't get a very long flag in that big accumulation zone that pointed to weakness here. So that was a very short flag. I was expecting longer. I also thought last time I got a bit dumped on. Everybody telling, yeah, you were wrong, you were wrong. Remember that when he only did 0.25 and we got to be right later? I thought there was another chance that that was going to fractal on a smaller scale there. But this time, instead of the 0.25, I saw, okay, inflation report CPI. And it's really exactly the same as the last time. We're going overs. That thing spilt, down it went. And of course, you got the inflation number. This is really strong capitulation, guys. You have wrecked it there. The one thing I can say that is slightly less bearish is when you capitulate so fast, so quickly, and the bid and stack is just run, eventually it's also, there can be a point where you're coming to a final sell-off low and you can get a snapback. We have now run what I consider to be very, very significant levels. I would have expected after clearly running the 24.5 to 25.7 range that you would get some snapback. So possibly a snapback and a rally back into that as resistance. But if this momentum maintains, where's the next level? 19 to 18. We've got a couple of levels. Then 15. Where did the 15 come from? That was the head and shoulder from the 69 that we showed you. We told you about that number. We didn't say it's our definitely going to happen, but there is real downside targets. You should be defensive. Let's go upper time frame so you can see that. Onto the daily. So 15. That's that blue head and shoulder with a 42K neckline that you did the flag on. That's an ugly one. It's getting into the pretty ugly. That's makeup heading to zero. Never mind $275. 12,199 is a bear flag target from there. So understand this is probably log scale. Regular scale, you can see these two lines are roughly the same length. The thin red and the fat red. That is a 12K. If you come back down to this funnel, you will have watched Bitcoin on its first cup gold nugget, all the way round trip to 69 and all the way back to its funnel. That will be your round tripper. And that starts at 7,900 odd to 10,000. Remember all those guys, you'll never see 10K again. Oh dear, could happen. Am I saying it's happened? No, I'm just pointing you key levels where things will go. One of these zones, this is like hard rock, soft rock you're going to go through. Another layer of hard rock, soft rock. You're drilling down. You're going to stop on one of them. It's going to be a bit much. Some of the momentum will be gone. But when I look at the equities, the debt situation, this can go through that low of 8 grand. You could even, God forbid, run the COVID low. It's possible. It's technically possible. Don't ask me to put a percentage on it. But those are the layers. If we have this entire macro, what you don't realize is Bitcoin has never seen a macro full-on winter. It came out in 2010 and all it got was QE for 4 years. 11, 12, 13 QE. What a great asset. It only goes up. Pumpamentals, blah, 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 blah. Okay, a couple of rough economic moments here and there, but generally expanding, new people coming in. The fastest pace of adoption. Now much more behind you. Institutions are engaged. Where's that new money coming in? Money is dying on the debt system. So deflation, deliquidification. This could get worse. It could have its rally now at the 25, having run the 24.54K. So obviously between those levels, and those are the other levels on the way down. So you have that answer now. By the way, this little flag, which is also a technical flag, it's a smaller one still, taken from the 40K. Look at that return move up to the 40K, this blue line. So you broke here, down, rally up to the 40K, spill down to there. That little flag has that as a target. That also brings you to 18. So you've got a cluster at around the 19.8, 18,000 level. So if we continue to the downside, that's another area where you might get some period of support. Okay, that's it. That's all I've got for you. We've answered the Bitcoin question. Don't forget to subscribe on this channel, because here we want to give you the highest quality. We make real investments. We want you to get the best that we know out of it, and we do even more for you when you're premium. This is free information, no adverts. We ask for a like and a share. That's it. That's all. You help us get a little bit of recognition. You help us beat the algorithm. We will never pump a micro cap to you and sell into it. It's not our game. We don't do that. It lacks integrity. We will never ask you for OTC private investments and do any funny business. We want you to know exactly what we think of the market, where we believe we have a skill set, and we'll be more right generally than wrong. And even when we're wrong, you will have a tight stop, and when we're right, you'll have an expansive reward, because we are fast breakout, high reward, low risk traders. It is called HVF method. It is designated, designed by me, and you can learn all about it and be in a community. That's all they do. Other methods do not have built-in money management, do not have interim targets, do not have full targets, do not give you information on turns in the market, do not give you the best way to even refer to head and shoulders, broadening structures, as well as other tightening structures that are not HVFs. This is the most complete technical analysis program that is self-designed. You're talking and listening to the man who did it, who's loved charts from the day he started looking at them and has spent 35 goddamn years developing it. It is unique IP for which we have secured the copyright. You can access it and use it for your personal use to build wealth and defend your family and friends in crazy reset market times. That's who I am. It stumbles out. Exactly. Because I don't have to act. I don't have to read a script. It's who I am. If you like that, you hit the like button, you grab a share, and you book a goddamn call. If you don't have to come back. I'm not hurt or injured. Just don't puke in the comment section. And we're glad to have you. Thank you so much for coming. Play safe. I fear there is more to come, but you may get a pause period having run this. But the 18 and the 19K is the next for Bitcoin. Alts, more downside. I've given you all the targets. I wish you well. Have a great week ahead. Bye for now.